Hi, everyone. It's Gina Doyle and Darren Eastman, and we are recording our 16.6 milestone kickoff for the runner group. And I will start off with explaining what we're going to be working on for the runner fleet team. I'll share my screen. Before we get into the actual features, though, I'll give you a quick reminder on what runner fleet is responsible for. We are trying to make it easier for admins and platform engineers to manage their fleet of runners that they're bringing to GitLab as efficiently as possible, including performance metrics and cost metrics and more as we continue to shape the direction which Darren is leading. So I can just give you a quick overview. One thing that we are a bit ahead of schedule for actually is the release of our runner fleet dashboard for the admin view, which is super exciting. We were able to finish up the final panel on that dashboard, which is providing your wait time metrics over the past 3 hours for your instance runners. And now that we have that finished up, we will be releasing the dashboard in 16.6, so we'll remove the feature flag. But as part of that, we will also be working on documenting some information to guide you to be able to set up that dashboard, because it will involve setting up ClickHouse, which is something that you'll have to install, and so that you can actually get that data to ingest into the dashboard. So we will be updating this epic as we get more, I guess, copy added, so that we can actually give a full guide for those customers who want to use the dashboard. And just as a reminder, the dashboard is for self-managed and ultimate customers. So if that is you and you're watching this and you're interested, please take a look at that epic. And then one other thing we'll be working on in 16.6 is an API for instance runner usage. So being able to track the minutes that your instance runners are using across your projects. And this will actually be a CSV export for the first MVC, so that you can get a better idea of usage across projects and potentially even allocate costs depending on that usage. And then from a UX standpoint, we released that dashboard for the admin area. So now we're going to start thinking about how that is going to be at the top level group area, which I believe it will be very similar to the admin area. It's just that we'll probably focus on group runners instead of instance runners there. And then the other thing that we'll be working on is adding some filters to the estimated wait time graph, because currently, like I said, we are only showing metrics for instance runners in that graph. And it would be great, because we know that many people are dealing with different types of runners. It would be great to be able to filter that to show those wait time metrics for group runners, additionally to instance runners. And that is it. So I will pass it to Darren to talk about runner core.
Fine, but thank you. That's super exciting. So I'll just cover a couple of key things that are happening, in runner core in 16.6. Share my screen. Hopefully it's sharing the right screen. Just a quick reminder, our category direction page for both runner core, and this one is, I'm showing you runner core right now, both runner core and runner fleet, is a place to start if you want a 20,000-foot view of sort of the broad themes that we're working on, from a year-over-year basis. Again, just to reiterate what I've kind of been chatting about for the last few kickoff meetings, the big thing for us in runner core in terms of new features, so big new theme type features in this fiscal year, FY24, is the next runner auto-scaling architecture. Again, just to reiterate for those folks that are probably seeing the video for the first time, we have a couple different auto-scaling options for GitLab Runner. One is our Kubernetes Executor. So if you're comfortable with Kubernetes, you can absolutely use this to auto-scale runners in your environment. The other one is Next Runner Auto-Scaling, which allows you to auto-scale runners on ephemeral instances, virtual machine instances, and so on. And that's a different sort of construct than with Kubernetes, where you only have sort of the option of running your job within a container. The runner auto-scaling on instances, the next runner auto-scaling instances gives you a lot more flexibility. You can run your CI jobs in containers. You can run your CI jobs directly in the host OS itself. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Where we're at right now is that we're aggressively moving or transitioning our plugins for this new auto-scaling technology from experimental to beta and then to GA. And so for 16.6, what's next up? I can find my tab. Here we go. Oh, that disappeared there for a moment. 16.6, what's next up for Run a Core is we are looking to transition the Google Compute Cloud or GCP Compute Engine plugin to beta. So 16.5, we're working on transitioning the AWS plugin to beta. 16.6, the plan is to transition the GCP plugin to beta. So that's sort of the big new feature that's coming out from an auto-scaling perspective, is that continued march of transitioning the plugins from experiment to beta. And then you'll see some of that continue in the next iterations. And I just want to call out, in addition to sort of those features, that feature set around auto-scaling, there's some other sort of interesting things that are planned for CI log rendering experience improvements. I say improvements, I should be passing this off to Gina, but it's around the logs, and we're doing some stuff with multi-line command output, as well as looking to add timestamps to the CI logs. Both features and capabilities have been highly asked for. The number of upvotes on the timestamps feature, for example. So we're hoping to get that out in 16.6. And just to wrap up, as always, we spend a lot of our investment time each milestone working on bugs, working on security issues as well. So that's it for Run a Core. We're looking forward to getting the Fleeting plugin, to get translated, the auto-scaling plugin to enable you to auto-scale on Google compute instances out in beta in 16.6. But that's it. Back to you, Gina, for the wrap up.
Cool. Thank you, Darren. Well, if you're watching, we hope that you are excited for 16.6 because our team definitely is. And as always, if you have any feedback or questions for us, please feel free to reach out. And thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.